One of, if not the greatest benefactor to the Season 3 move rebalance was definitely Abomasnow. Now, up to last season, very rarely, if ever, did you see an Abomasnow in the Great League, and you never saw an Abomasnow in the Ultra League. But with the Season 3 move rebalance, and the 1 buff to Powder Snow going from 4 base damage up to 5 base damage, then giving Weather Ball, Ice-type Weather Ball to an Ice-type Pokemon like Abomasnow, Weather Ball being arguably one of the best, if not the best, charge moves in PvP. Those two things put together have made Abomasnow a force to be reckoned with this season in Go Battle League. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at my team running Abomasnow and some considerations for what you should be adding as your buddy Pokemon for preparing for the Ultra League come once it rotates this season. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, trainers. My name is Oro Chris. I am your catching coach. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Appreciate you stopping out. If you are interested in Pokemon Go, competitive PvP, and basically anything Pokemon related, consider subscribing. Now, I do want to say the intro you just watched, that was done in one take, which for me is certainly an exception to the rule. So I am super pumped about how the rest of this video is going to be going. I will tell you that. But as far as Abomasnow is concerned, these battles are going to be in the Great League. I'm trying to catch up on the battling, editing, and all of that stuff. I was a little under the weather the last couple of days. You will forgive me for that, but we're going to get caught up. Bear with us. Now, as far as Abomasnow is concerned, this is a grass and ice type Pokemon. And because of that, as an ice type with access to ice type attacks, it's going to have a favorable matchup against Pokemon like Altaria and Tropius that are 2 times weak to ice, respectively, as well as a grass type and access to a grass type attack like Energy Ball, going to be able to hit for super effective damage into a Pokemon like Azumarill. So all 3 of those Pokemon being able to pull out wins against them, that is definitely important in the Great League meta. And if we head over to pvpoke.com, we can see that in the Great League, Abomasnow Shadow variant is ranked 14th overall. Again, those Shadow Pokemon get a 20% buff to their attack stat at the cost of roughly a 17% reduction in their defenses. And the non-Shadow variant Abomasnow ranked 18th overall. I'll show you the particular matchups on that one. More likely to be able to find Abomasnow in the non-Shadow variant. If you can find a Team Go Rocket Grunt, it is the female Team Go Rocket Grunt that will have access to the encounter with Abomasnow, and it's going to be the one speaking about being frozen by their Pokemon or something like that. It's the ice type Pokemon that you're trying to find the matchup for to get Abomasnow. And as we can see, wins against Azumarill, Altaria, Swampert, Tropius, and Venusaur. Tough matchups. You're only going to be hitting for neutral damage with your ice type attacks into a Pokemon like Skarmory because steel types resist ice type attacks. Flying types take super effective, so those two things negate. Deoxys Defense Form, as an ice type, you are going to be taking super effective damage from fighting type attacks, as well as access to Rock Slide, Deoxys Defense Form has, so that's not a solid matchup. Same thing with Toxicroak, so definitely want to get out of those as quickly as possible, swap out. But in both of those matchups, all 3 of those, rather, Skarmory, Deoxys, and Toxicroak, those are all favorable situations for Alolan Marowak to swing into in those matchups. Now, as far as the Alolan Marowak that I've been running, there was a buff to Hex recently at the Season 3 rebalance. Again, I'll put a link up to that in the description up above. But I've been running Fire Spin. The reason being, I think having access to a fire type attack is going to be favorable against those matchups like Skarmory, but also against Registeel. Not going to be appreciating that fire type damage, but I think also I was expecting to see a lot of Abomasnow, and Abomasnow as an ice and grass type Pokemon is going to be doubly weak to fire type attacks. I thought it would be a very plausible situation that I'd be running into Abomasnow, so I'd want to have something to answer that more forcefully. Now, some of the rationale behind the team, I've got Alolan Marowak in the lead. I think that a fire type lead in the current meta has been rather favorable in a lot of situations that I've seen. A lot of folks are running Abomasnow, so you could potentially catch that. A lot of folks do lead Skarmory, so having access to a fire type attack, a lot of folks will switch out in that scenario, as well as potential for hitting into super effective damage into a lead Registeel, which is also a fairly common lead in the Great League. When you're considering team building, The one Pokemon that I was going to have that I'm featuring here in the video is going to be Abomasnow. What is a Ice type Pokemon going to be weak to? Fighting type attacks. What is going to have immunity tier resistance to fighting type attacks? A Ghost type Pokemon like Alolan Marowak. Similarly, what is a Fire type Pokemon like Alolan Marowak going to be weak to? Going to be weak to Water type attacks. What is a Grass type Pokemon like Abomasnow going to resist? It's going to resist Water type attacks. What's a Grass type Pokemon going to be able to hit for super effective damage into? With Grass type attacks, they're going to be able to hit Water types for super effective damage. So as a result, those two Pokemon really synergize together and work in a really nice way on a team building strategy. So once you've got your lead and your Pokemon that synergizes well with it, a great team building structure from that point on, then to just put in some other solid generalist in the back, something like a Cresselia, a Registeel, something else that's going to not have common weaknesses with the two Pokemon you've been leading with or that we've just been discussing, your A and your B Pokemon, but just something that's going to be able to handle a lot of matchups generally. And that makes a good team building strategy overall in the Great League meta and in all the three leagues for the most part. So if we head into the first set of matches here, we have got Rocker 321 rocking the Drifloon or Drifloon? I think that was Drifloon on the shirt. So in here we've got a positive matchup as far as taking super effective damage. Melmetal. Now they're going to be hitting with a Rock Slide, so we are not going to appreciate that, but we do have Bone Club. So we've got Fire Spin as fast move damage, as well as having access to Bone Club for a super effective charge move. Now we do swap out into the Azumarill, hoping to catch the Rock Slide. We do not. The opponent does not go for it. They hold on to that energy and swap into Meganium. They were a little bit slower on the swap, so we should be able to get to a second or maybe even third Ice Beam at this point. We sadly do not. We go down, but we have got two Pokemon that are going to both do very well against Meganium. We're going to go back in with Alolan Marowak. The reason being I did not want to have Abomasnow facing up against Melmetal, and I assumed that once Meganium went down, then that meant that Melmetal would be the one coming back into the matchup, which is what happens here. So we have built up to several of the Bone Clubs. They're going to be hitting for super effective damage into the Steel type of Melmetal. And we're able to get off 3 because we had built up so much energy farming down that Meganium. So now, not going to be appreciating this damage as far as the Grass type of the Grass aspect of the dual typing of Abomasnow. These Air Slashes as well as Sky Attacks are definitely going to hurt, but we're going to try to winnow down this Skarmory as much as possible, and then that will give us the best matchup in the back with Alolan Marowak and being able to just farm down with the fire with the fast move damage. So again, a Steel type like Skarmory would normally resist Ice type attacks because it's a flying type. However, those two things blend together, they negate each other. One's super effective, one resists, and therefore it ends up being a neutral hit. So we do pull out the win there. And then our second matchup, we have B-Boy TRM or Trim, one of the two. We have got Venusaur, another very positive matchup for us. As a Fire type, we're going to be resisting Grass type attacks. As a Ghost type, we're going to be resisting Poison type attacks. So bad all around for that matchup. We do swap out. We want to get this Azumarill out of the way of a matchup, potentially landing against that Venusaur. So we're going to come in with the Azumarill. We're going to go for the bait. Whenever you have a potential bait move, you always want to charge up to the more expensive move. In this situation, Hydro Pump was the more expensive move. We charged up to that, so they would think you would, you want to bait the, you want to bluff the higher energy move, and then come in with the less one if you're going to bait a move. Don't immediately just charge up to the less expensive move like Ice Beam and launch that off, because then they know they don't have to shield because it's not going to be very effective against a Steel type like Bastiodon. So we have got them swapping out both of these Pokemon, Medicham and Venusaur. Neither of them really going to appreciate a matchup against a Pokemon like Alolan Marowak. A lot of folks in the Great League the more traditional moveset back in the day for Medicham was Power Up Punch and Ice Punch. A lot of folks now are running Psychic, and here we do shield, suspecting that it is a Psychic, and we do get lucky there. So the Bone Clubs, again, I'm going to go for the bait, hoping to draw out another shield. We do not get it. So I'm just going to try to launch another one, because that's probably going to be enough for us to get the knockout here. And then we have some energy stored up for the Venusaur. Now we have got Venusaur. These are, again, not going to be very effective damage. As the Venusaur user there, Frenzy Plant, I believe it's definitely better damage per energy than Sludge Bomb. And I think that in that scenario, if you're only going to launch one fast move, I think you're better off using Frenzy Plant. I would have to look at the sims on that. Let's see here. Because they're both going to be resisted. So here we have got, yeah, so Frenzy Plant would have been better off. If you're going to use Venusaur, if you're in a neutral matchup where both moves are either going to be resisted or both moves are going to be not very effective, always go with Frenzy Plant. You're going to be better off as far as getting more damage done per energy in that scenario. So they swap out of the Skarmory into their Empoleon. Both of my Pokemon in the back. One, Empoleon as a water type and as a steel type. Both of those types resist ice type attacks. So Empoleon has immunity tier resistance to the fast move damage and the bait move on Abomasnow. So that's why I went with the a little bit more of a neutral matchup against a Pokemon like Azumarill, or that's why it's a little bit more favorable for me to stick with Azumarill in that matchup as opposed to Abomasnow. If you are not familiar with the levels of effectiveness, we did cover that in a video. I'll put a link up to it. Very important to understand how things like double super effective, how not very effective, how immunity tier resistance, how 3 times resistance, how all of those things come together to make certain levels of super effectiveness and things of that sort. It's very important to understand how all of those things stack together. So we've got Alolan Marowak here, again against Skarmory. Skarmory very common in the Great League, so you would definitely want to have a solid answer to that, which is why I've been preferring Fire Spin over Hex. So we're going to try to chip down this Skarmory as much as possible. That Sky Attack going to come through, not able to get to another Bone Club. However, we have got Abomasnow in the back. Now they have got some reserve energy on the Skarmory, so I'm going to have to be aware of that. Here, very likely, if this is a Fire Punch, it's really going to hurt. I think it's probably not just going to be the Thunder Punch, so we do get lucky there. And now we have got a Weather Ball charged up, ready to go for this Skarmory. And again, this neutral hit should be enough to take down that very low health Skarmory. So we do pull out win there. So we're now 3 games up this set, and we are coming into a match against Austriado 95. So we have got Victory Bell. Now Victory Bell, very interesting Pokemon, much more common nowadays to be seeing Shadow Victory Bell. If you are looking at using Shadow Victory Bell, be sure to run simulations on Shadow Victory Bell against Registeel, especially if your Shadow Victory Bell has a high enough attack stat to ensure that after Registeel has been debuffed, that it reaches a damage breakpoint of 8 damage per Razor Leaf. That's a very important breakpoint for that particular Pokemon, so be sure to look into that. If you're not familiar with that particular matchup and you're not following what I'm saying as far as the simulations, leave a comment down below. Ask for a video on that. We can look into that a little bit more detail in a separate video. So here we have got Registeel coming in. I'm glad that I shielded that attack by Victory Bell, because now we're able to dictate a lot of these matchups. They swap out of the Registeel and now into Alolan Marowak. Not Alolan Marowak, Alolan Sandslash. And Alolan Sandslash as an Ice and Steel type, just like Abomasnow, is going to be taking double super effective damage from fire type attacks. Very unique, spicy pick in the Great League, Alolan Sandslash, so compliments to the opponent's trainer here. Here as an Ice type, I didn't want to waste any of the energy. Ice types resist Ice type attacks, Steel types resist Ice type attacks, so I would be throwing a lot of energy away trying to use a charge move like Ice Beam to get that final KO. That, and I wanted to have enough energy built up to be ready for this Registeel that's going to come back in with the Hydro Pump. So we do get the KO there. We go of 4-0 on this set. And then now our final match against Suthang 1970. Rocking the gloves. I love it. So we've got Alolan Marowak versus Galarian Stunfisk. Now we covered Galarian Stunfisk in yesterday's video. I'll put a link up to that if you've not checked that out. Galarian Stunfisk, very solid pick in the Great League currently with access to Mudshot, a very fast charging, fast move, very solid. Its Steel typing gives it a lot of important resistances in the Great League. Against the fire type Pokemon, however, with access to ground type attacks and fire type attacks, that is not a solid matchup for Galarian Stunfisk. It does pull out the win against Alolan Marowak depending on shielding strategy, however, so that is one thing to be aware of. Here I'm willing to push it to the 2-shield scenario. They go for the Earthquake. Probably overkill. If they had gone for the Rock Slide, they might have been able to get to a second Rock Slide in that scenario. So now we have got Alolan Raichu coming in. They're assuming, I think, that it was the Bone Club. I go with the Sand Shadow Ball and just get the KO very quickly there. So now they are definitely on the back heel. We've got no shields left. They're going to Power Up Punch. As a fighting type move, Alolan Marowak is going to have immunity tier resistance. It's going to have 2 times resistance to fighting type attacks. So questionable whether or not going with, when shields are down on my side of the field, going with Power Up Punch, whether or not that was really the right play. Because now I'm going to be able to get through so much damage onto the opponent Medicham here. However, Abomasnow in the back is not going to appreciate a double powered up Medicham. So that is one thing I'm trying to get as much damage out of the opponent here as I can. We do get down very, very low. And now an Ice type taking double super effective damage would not be good. So we do, of course, go with Azumarill. That Psychic, we can see how much damage a 2 times buffed Psychic does, a tremendous amount of damage. And we don't even have the need to bring out the Abomasnow to close out the match. So we do go 5-0 in that set. Take the obligatory pick of the 5-0 win, of course, and we get a Pidgeot for our effort. Pidgeot, one of the Pokemon that will be having it does have available in the main series games. We can only presume that it's going to be coming, but once Mega Evolutions are released in Pokemon Go sometime later this year, we can expect to see Mega Pidgeot making its introduction into the game here in the near future. So be on the lookout for good IV variants of Pidgey running around. If you've got the shiny, I personally am still looking for the shiny. It pains me to this day that I still do not have a shiny Pidgey. I've shiny checked as many as I can, trust me. As you can see, however, Abomasnow very solid in the Open Great League. This set of videos probably did equally, or if not more, to highlight the value of Alolan Marowak currently in the Great League as well. Both of those Pokemon, they synergize very well together, very solid picks currently in the Open Great League meta. Be sure to have answers for both of them. Now I will say, Alolan Marowak, as solid as it is, it will not see any play in the Ultra League come in a couple of weeks when we do rotate to the Ultra League in Season 3 of Go Battle League. Abomasnow, however, I do want to touch upon briefly its place in the Ultra League meta. It is ranked, the Shadow again ranks slightly higher in the Ultra League, as well as the non-Shadow variant ranked at 22nd overall. But if you look at these Ultra League wins, Swampert, Giratina Altered Form, that's a big one. Giratina, any Pokemon that baits out Giratina Altered Form, you definitely want to consider adding to your roster. Venusaur, of course, as a grass type, going to be taking super effective damage from those ice type attacks. Not going to appreciate that. Clefable, also able to pull out a win against Clefable, which is also fairly common in the Open Great League. or in the open Ultra League. And then Shiftry, also a very popular Pokemon recently. Caleb Peng, a very solid battler. Be sure to check out his channel. Caleb does some amazing stuff as far as anti-meta picks for Pokemon. You definitely want to check him out. Give him a subscription. Definitely worth the time. But as we can see, pulling out a win against Shiftry at 788. So a very solid win. That grass typing for Shiftry, not appreciating those ice type attacks. I will say this, if you are considering running Abomasnow in the Ultra League, it maxes out well below that 2500 CP cap for the Ultra League. So you want to max out a Abomasnow for that particular league. Same thing with Drifblim, another Pokemon that has gotten a lot of interesting improvements with the Season 3 rebalance. Both those Pokemon you want to have as close to, if not 100% IVs. Consider best buddying those particular Pokemon. They're definitely going to be very solid in the Ultra League meta. I do want to thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and until next time, happy catching.